What up, brothers? It's the Clipper King returning for a brand new review on a figure that a lot of my friends knew I'd got coming. And I did a short preview midweek to say the review will coming soon. So as you know, it's no big surprise to find that it's the DX08 Joker figure from the '89 Batman film. As you can see, I've got it set up, got the figure already posed, and the box set up. Before I start, I'll just shout out my YouTube brothers, my Skype brothers, any Facebook friends, and also the Sideshow Freaks. I'm posting my videos over there now, so it's only right I shout out the Sideshow brothers, so respect to them. And like I say, all the others who have any contact with, respect to you. No respect goes to the 7 guys that thumbed my Joker review coming soon video. Fuck them 7 pricks for thumbing that down. I don't know what I did that they didn't dislike about it, but like I said, they pop up, thumb it down, and fucking spoil it for everybody. Because I actually got this figure on Tuesday. When I start getting thumbs down like that, it's made me wait till Friday to even want to review this figure. I think, fuck it. Why give up my family time to put a video up for people to thumb down? But anyway, the review's going up now. I will score up the box. I'm going to pose it differently for every category I do. And talk you through the pose, try and get it nice and close for you, show a bit of detail. But I do know that there is some reviews already on, good reviews as well. So I'm just going to tell you my thoughts on this figure, and like I said, try and get you some new poses, some nice shots. I will be uploading in 1080 HD, even though it's taking me a fucking months to upload on it, but people seem to like it. I do honestly think that the 720 is just as good. But like I say, I'll stick to the 1080 for now. If anybody says they think the 720 is good enough, then I'll probably just go down to doing that. But just to explain you this pose, as you can see, the fucking awesome head sculpt. I'll be covering that on the likeness. Got his hat off to a jaunty angle. Got the little pistol up with the bang flag coming out. Just going down the figure, pretty much leant against his walking stick or his cane. 1 foot flat and the other one crossed up. Just chillaxing for start a review. He's not kicking off into a mental pose yet. So yeah, but as the box is out and set up, I'll score the box up for you. You all probably know by now I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5 for the simple reason, once again, it's a DX monochrome box, ghostly picture on the front, not special enough for my liking. Apart from the Bruce Lee DX, the Indiana Jones DX and the Jack Sparrow DX, I think the boxes have all been a little bit too bland for my liking. The internal workings of the box is fucking awesome. The foam trays and the accessory layer underneath, that's really good. But just the picture on the front just has never really done anything for me. So I think as well, what I found with this one is, because it's been inside the cardboard shipping box, you do get the sort of cardboard marks, like the scuffed type marks. It's not a big problem, but it does seem to show up a lot more on these DX boxes. Like I said, I don't know if it's the finish they use, but whatever. Like I said, the box, I've given it a 4 out of 5. So like I say, I'm going to roll on, score her up, and see what we can learn. Right, we'll roll on to the source material. I've already scored the Batman figure, obviously. So you'll know the source material, I'm going to give it same as that. Now, what I will say is, when this film first come out back in '89, I were only like 15, or just coming up to 15. I really enjoyed the film, and I enjoyed Batman Returns, and not so much the 2 after that. And then I quite like Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Now, I actually prefer Marvel heroes, if I'm honest, to DC heroes, but I know a lot of people have an affinity with this film and along with the new Batman films. Now, we're talking to a lot of brothers on Skype recently about your favourite superhero films. Now, I think there are about 7 of us on this call, and I think 4 or 5 actually picked this as the favourite superhero film. That's not the case with me. I do like it. I really enjoy it, to be honest, but I don't think it's as good as everybody else thinks it is. I know it's a cult classic and everything, and people like Tim Burton and so on and so forth, but I'm going to score it as I see it, and I would only give the source material a 4 out of 5. Now, I'm not saying the film's shit, so I don't want anybody fucking leaving comments saying that's what I've said. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying when I watched it back, especially recently, I realised there's not as much action in it as I remembered when I was a lot younger. So for a superhero film, especially when you compare it to the likes of like Iron Man 1, probably Spider-Man 1 I really enjoyed, Spider-Man 2, the X-Men films, I don't think there's as much action in this film as there is in the more modern superhero films. So that's my stance on it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. What I will say on source material, if I'm taking into account the actor involved, I would say this Joker character and probably One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Shining have got to be Jack Nicholson's 3 top films. So if you want the definitive Jack Nicholson figure, then I would say you've got to have this one really, because it would make the most interesting figure. I know people have got the custom of The Shining, and that looks really nice too, but if you want a Jack Nicholson in your collection, I would say right now it's got to be this one. So yeah, like I said, I've scored it up. I'll explain you the pose. Pretty much just straight up and down pose. When I say straight up and down pose, I mean he's not in action as such. He's stood, posed as if it's a shot that could have been took for a movie poster or a DVD cover or whatever. So yeah, basically just interlinked his widespread hands, got him, he's sort of pondering. If you look at him from that angle, I've got his eyes straight up. So he's sort of brooding, plotting. One of the really nice things I like with this head sculpt, I will explain, is the way you can make him look a fucking menace or as if he's happy as a pig in shit, and I'll demonstrate that when I get onto the likeness. But yeah, like I said, just got him in fucking dead ring, as you can see, and like I said, I'll cover that in likeness. So yeah, that's the pose, just the hands interlinked. He's plotting a fucking cunning scheme, wants to trap Batman. Just stood there having a little think. He's going to spring into action shortly, brothers, so stick with me and stick with the Joker. You know where it's at. Right, rolling on to likeness. I think this is pretty much the category that can make or fucking kill a figure, if I'm honest. If it's not got a good likeness, especially at these prices, then everything else, it don't fall into place. The likeness is fucking paramount, and I think everybody knows that. So I'm going to try and cover it as well as I can. So as you can see, I've got him in a pose, sort of a ta-da kind of look on him. He's got his hands out, jazz hands kind of things, just stood pretty upright. I've left it pretty simple because this is really going to focus on the face. Now, you're going to have to bear with me at times here because I'm filming with my right hand and I'm going to be moving the head and the joystick in his eyes with my left hand. So I want to make it as smooth as I can, and I want to try and show everything. Now, as you can see, I've got his hat on. I do prefer him with the hat on up to now. As you can see, the back of his hair's off because it's there. I'll explain that later. And I'll go into all the little details on his face. Now, I've got him up front at cabinet for a reason, because like I said, I'm going to be moving him around. It's going to be easy for me to handle. So the lighting might not be perfect here. What I will say is, what I alluded to in the last section about, I've never known an Hot Toys head sculpt, probably aside from the Jack Sparrow, that you can sort of, with moving it, get a different expression. But this one, it's all about the angle you look at it from. Now, if you look at that, to me, that's kind of an happy look. His eyebrows are up. He's obviously got the smile on his face. His eyes are pretty straightforward. Slightly off to the side. He's got a nice sparkle in his eye. Beautiful. Like I say, you can see his double chins and where his creases in his neck. You can see the pores. You can see skin texture. I'll put it further back in cabinet so it's got more light in a minute so you get more detail. The teeth, I personally think are perfect. I see a few comments the other day saying that they're wrong colour. I really like them. I'll go into that when I get it back in light. Now what I want to do is demonstrate what I'm trying to say. Is that obviously comes off really easy. That, to me, is happy. You tip his head forward and bring his eyes up. That, to me, is fucking right horrible little cunt. Just by changing his eyes and dipping his head forward. Now you look at him from that angle. Does he look happy? Does he fuck look happy? He looks like he wants to fucking carve somebody up. Like I say. Put his head back. Oh, he's fucking ecstatic again now, look. Just with a little tilt of his head, moving his head round. Where it does. Yeah, demonstrate the eyes. Right into the corner. Over corner. You can roll them down. Roll them up. So a little demonstration on the purse system. Sorry for my big fat fucking chubby fingers in the background, but there's no other way I found to do it. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to move it back, try and get a bit better lighting on the head for you. See what we can fucking see with this camera. So, pretty spot on likeness. Like I said, the teeth colour to me I really like, and I also like the sculpt around the mouth because it actually looks like his tongue is pushing against the back of his teeth, like he's about to bust out laughing. So yeah, really like that. Come down here a minute, you fucker. Too far back. What I did want to do is focus. Yeah, so don't think anybody can argue that that's Jack Nicholson Joker. I think his hair at times in film is a little bit more bouffant than that, I think you could say. Not so slick down to his head, but obviously they can only sculpt it to one scene in the film. I think it matches fucking perfectly. Another thing I do like is, if you look, at the hair, how it looks, and then the section that fits into it, look at the grooves in the hair. So let's see if I can get this on one-hander. Yep, that's alright. Straight on. Look at it from there, it's not really a bad match. Look at it from back, a little bit more noticeable because of how the hair grows. And then as you come round, you get it to there, and you can't really notice the back section on the head at all. So yeah, looking awesome work again by Hot Toys. And then obviously the art. Again, you can get quite a Frank Sinatra look if you get a little tip to the side. If you want to make him more broody, push it all the way forward. Just about getting it in the pose you like. So that's the likeness. Like I said, definite 5 out of 5 for me. It's a fucking beauty. Really eye-catching as well. Obviously it's going to be with a white face, but yeah, I've explained the pose, done the likeness, giving it 5 out of 5. I'll roll on and we'll have a look at the outfit. Right, just while I'm talking about the likeness, one thing I wanted to show, but because it's no natural light in the cabinet, I'm actually now just brought the figure out to the window. Just look at the bloodshot in the eyes. Can you get that? Fucking awesome paintwork. So that's under natural light. That's stood in Callum's window. You can see corners of the eyes full of bloodshot. In hand, it looks better even than this camera can do. But yeah, I just thought I'd point that out to you. The paintwork where the white just goes up into air. Fucking beautiful, brothers. So yeah, thought it was worth mentioning that. I'll roll on to the outfit.